Hi guys, and welcome to the next episode in my quick art tips series. Okay, so I hope you're all doing well. It's a great day to be alive and to learn and discover new things in art. So this episode today we're going to be covering 5 tips or keys for improving your art faster. So this list is non-exhaustive. It's also based on my personal opinion of how I believe it best to go about improving your art and improving faster with art. So let's get into it. So let's kick it off with the first one, which is fundamentals. The number one, in my opinion, tip for improving your art faster is learning the fundamentals and just putting the time in learning them. Now, my top 3 fundamentals to learn. Number 1, perspective. For myself, that one really helped me, and it really helped solidify seeing objects in 3D space and being able to paint them and represent them on a 2D canvas. The next one is value. Understanding light and dark, shadow and light, and their relationship and how they play out. Number 3, drawing. Because if you don't have a good drawing, it doesn't matter how well you're going to paint it, the bad drawing is still going to show through because it's the structure of the image. So that's those, and obviously there's the fundamentals of design, the fundamentals of painting, and many other things. And there's many great places where you can learn from other great artists on YouTube, and they can help you study just by watching their videos and then doing what you see in the videos. Moving on to the next one, number 2 is hard work and rest. So this ties in to the first one as well, which is study. So studying the fundamentals, studying life, studying how things work and things like that, and rest. So obviously you can't just work all the time, you need to get rest. To process things quickly, you need to rest so that your brain can process all the things that you've learned and your body can be well rested and ready for learning again. So with hard work and rest, it's a good idea could be to create manageable chunks or sections of the fundamentals in a schedule of learning where you have a set day or a set amount of time on different days for learning different fundamentals, doing personal projects, putting the fundamentals in there, and sections and chunks of learning time. So on to the next one, and that is number 3, push yourself with each piece and experiment, especially if you're using digital art. So you finish a piece or you get close to finish and maybe it's lacking, it's not really going how you want it to go, or it's not looking how you want it to look exactly. Or maybe it is, but you can make a copy of the image and then experiment with the blending brushes or the smudge brush and experiment with brush strokes and how things could look if you just experiment and just try out different things. And a lot of times you'll come up with happy accidents that actually create a freshness to the look of the painting instead of it looking stiff, and some visual interest and just help the composition even, and that kind of thing. So that's number 3. And moving on to the next one, which is number 4, learning from others, which I briefly mentioned in a previous point. So there's obviously tons of artists on YouTube and Gumroad and other places with tutorials that are pretty cheap, and they go into like really in-depth. They present their work and they go really in-depth into their process and how they think throughout the process and how they achieve the look of the painting that they're doing and that they have in the teaching. The teachings and the videos are pretty cheap mostly. I mean, there's a few. There's Dave Raposa. He is a great artist and he has a lot of cheap tutorials on his Gumroad. There's also Aaron Blaze, who currently has a big sale on his website, if it's still up, where you can get more than hour-long content of teaching videos for just $1 or a couple of dollars. Or obviously, if you're in Europe or England, €1, a couple of pound, something like that. There's others as well. There's Trent Kenayuga, who is on YouTube, and he has a lot of content on his Gumroad. What I would suggest, and my main point with learning from others, don't just binge watch your videos. What's important is to watch the video and really concentrate and learn and absorb what's being said and what's being taught, and then to create your own piece or your own assignment to create a piece of work based on what you've learned. And that will really help solidify what you've learned and really add that to your repertoire of abilities and just being able to render in certain styles, or just learning in general about concept art and illustration and how to finish a piece, how to go about creating it, creating the foundation of the drawing and the painting and everything, and how it all interacts and works together. That's number 4, learning from others and creating a piece of work based on what you've watched or what you've read. Obviously, there's some great books as well. There is James Gurney, who has some great books, Colour and Light. The other one is called Imaginative Realism. And there's also books by Scott Robertson, and he has other people featured in them as well. And one is How to Draw from Your Imagination, which goes into perspective, a really in-depth look at perspective. You might want to have a foundation of the really basic level of perspective for that book though. And the next one he has is How to Render, and it also has another one called How to Design. They have really great content and some good teaching in them. And it has video teaching as well that goes along with the book, that once you buy the book you can access for free. And those are some really great books. I will put a link in the description to all the books and the YouTube channels and the Gumroads that I've mentioned for ease of access, so that you can find them quickly if you wanted to take a look at them. Number 5, as we move on to that one, we are always students. We always remain students. It's important that we don't think that we've mastered everything or that we've arrived. And you'll find with most artists, they're always learning. They're always discovering new ways to do things or new ways to experiment and create new looks or new styles, or just experimenting and just having fun, which leads me into the bonus one, which is remember to have fun. With all this, it might sound a bit serious, but it's important in what we're doing. Yes, the fundamentals are hard to learn. Yes, they take time, but you can have fun with it. You can still have fun. Don't have to do 100% of the time studying fundamentals and not just draw for yourself. Remember just to have fun, draw for yourself, and do work for yourself. And it would just help you hone your craft at the same time. You're still learning whilst you're doing it, and you'll enjoy it. So just enjoy the process and the results and the journey of honing your craft. Well guys, that's it for this episode. I hope this was helpful. I hope you'll implement some of the tips that I've spoken, and I'd love to see some of the work that you guys are doing. And if you have a piece that you'd like a critique on for the next episode, I'm going to do an episode where I critique some work and I go over how to give critiques, how to receive critique, and just do a paint over of a couple of pieces just to show how you can help others out and how doing critiques helps you at the same time. So if you'd like your work to be critiqued in the Net Art Tips video, you can send your work to me as a JPEG at jhacritique@gmail.com. So that's jhacritique@gmail.com. I'll put a link in the description for that one. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and it's been my pleasure to record this, and I will see you in the next episode. You're in my prayers, and I will see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.